students, let's start with the first chapter of civics, that is power sharing. In this chapter, we will understand what exactly is power sharing and why is it necessary to share the responsibility amongst the organs of the government. Let me give you a quick introduction. Let's take an example of your school. You have your maths teacher, then you have your science teacher and social science teacher, right? So these three subject teachers that you have are responsible for teaching their own respective subjects, right? So that is, maths is the responsibility of teacher A, science is the responsibility of teacher B, and social science is the responsibility of teacher C. So basically, they all are sharing individual power at the same level. So they all are responsible for finishing their syllabus for their respective subjects in your class, right? Now, let's take another example. Your school is there. You have principal, the vice principal, HOD, and the subject teachers in school. So the subject teacher is basically answerable to the HOD, and the HOD is answerable to vice principal, and the vice principal is responsible to the principal for any kind of work that is happening in the school. So you can say that there is a hierarchy from principal to vice principal to HOD to the subject teachers in the school. But still, you can say that they all are actually working together for the functioning of the school, for the proper functioning of the school, right? So they are basically sharing the power and are responsible for the working of the school, right? So I hope you understood the two models of sharing of responsibilities that I just discussed with you. So we will be keeping these in mind and looking it at a larger perspective, that is the working of the government in our country through these two models. In this chapter, power sharing. So let's start with the chapter. Hi friends, in this video we will be learning about what exactly power sharing is. So if you recall the previous video, we learned that for the best functioning of any institute, sharing of responsibility is essential. And this kind of responsibility or the powers for the government of India are defined in the Constitution. Therefore, these powers that are listed in the Constitution help in the better functioning of the government in case of India. Therefore, we can say power sharing means sharing of power at different levels of government, just like the example that I told you in the previous video, so that the power is not concentrated in one particular hand and is helpful in the functioning of an institute. Now, if you recall, I talked to you about the sharing of power or the responsibility of each subject teacher in school, right? So if we compare that model with the functioning of the government or the system in India, we can say that the government also is divided into three organs, right? The legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, similar to the maths, science, and the social science teacher, right? So we can say that the legislature, which is the lawmaking body, the executive, which is responsible for the implementation of laws, and the judiciary, that is for the administration of justice, share their individual responsibility of doing their roles. That is why they are at the same level, right? And this is why it is known as the horizontal division of power, right? So it is basically division of power at the same level, right? And that is why it is known as horizontal division of power, right? Now, if you recall the second example that I talked to you about, the hierarchy in school, the principal, the vice principal, the HODs and the subject teachers, who are responsible for executing their particular powers and responsibilities. That is how they are able to make the school function properly, right? So if we compare that model with the situation in India, the government is also divided hierarchically, right? So there is central government, which is responsible for the entire country. Then we have the state government, which is responsible at the state level. And thirdly, we have the government at the local level, right? So we have central government, we have state government, and we have the local government. So there is a hierarchy as compared to the model of the school, right? And since it is in a vertical direction from the lower point to the upper point, that is why it is known as a vertical division of power. So this model is basically vertical division of power, right? So I hope it is clear to you that what power sharing is, and two types of sharing of power, that is the horizontal division of power and the vertical division of power. Thank you for watching the video.